Okay, let's go ahead and jump right into this. You're going to need either ramps or you're going to need a jack and jack stance. Today we're going to go ahead and use ramps. You're also going to have some required items. You're going to need oil, an oil filter, a funnel, an oil pan, a pair of gloves, eye protection, an oil filter wrench, a rag, a 3/8 inch socket, extension, and a 14mm socket. This is our Mobile 1 filter we'll be using, but any OEM type filter will work, and it'll come with this things you see there. If you open your hood and you see this engine, you have the right video. If not, you may want to keep looking. This next part is going to show you the location of the oil cap. It's right there. And the next part we're going to show you where dipstick is. First step here is going to go ahead and get the car up on the ramps. This may be a two-person process because you don't want to overshoot this. So here's the car going up, and there it is. It's on the ramp. So now it's lifted. At this point, you're going to want to go ahead and remove the oil cap because it's going to allow the oil to go more freely out of it. You'll need to warm the car up too before you get to this point. You want to change oil when the oil's warm. This is the location of the drain plug in the back. It is a 14mm socket we were talking about, and we'll go ahead and remove the oil plug, and we'll go ahead and position the pan right under there so that you can catch the oil as it comes down. When you get it loosened a little bit, go ahead and use your fingers to take the plug out the rest of the way. You want to put a little pressure inward so it doesn't come spattering out. So as you're turning, you're kind of pushing it in to let the oil out until you know it's completely loose. At this point, you're going to want to inspect the gasket. If it's no good, go ahead and replace it. If not, clean it up and go ahead and reinstall it. You'll see the oil at this point means that it's pretty much all out. You can go ahead and put the drain plug back on. Go ahead and reinstall it by hand. Once you have it firmly tightened with the socket wrench, you're going to want to go about 1/8 of a turn past that. You don't want to over tighten it for obvious reasons. Here's our 3/8 inch extension. We're going to use a square end to go ahead and remove the cap off the canister filter. And what this is going to allow us to do is to insert the tool that came with our oil filter to go ahead and drain the oil out of the canister itself. So there's a little tool that they give you with the filter. You're going to want to go ahead and screw that in there. Just be careful not to get oil all over your hands. And once the canister has drained out the rest of the way, we can go ahead and remove it. So now we're going to take the oil filter wrench and take the canister itself out. It should be pretty tight. They're usually pretty tight. So once it starts to come out, you want to, if there's any residual oil, go ahead and leak it out right then. And there's the filter. We're going to go ahead and start to turn it here and allow the filter to just drop out of the canister. It's not held in there with anything. As soon as you turn it over, as you can see, it's just going to go ahead and drop out. Now we're going to go ahead and clean the canister itself using our rag that we have. Just make sure that there's no gunk or anything in there. And there's our new filter and our gaskets. So the next thing we're going to have to do is remove the gaskets off the canister and replace them. You're going to use an awl for this. I didn't show that in the beginning, but that's the tool you want to use or something similar. You're going to get a little bit of oil and put it on the new gasket just to lubricate it so it doesn't get seized on there. And there it is installed. And next we're going to go ahead and pry out the filter on the cap. Actually, I think we're going to go ahead and show you the filter installed in there. It just goes in, there's no wrong way. And here's the cap gasket we're removing. It just comes right out, it's not stuck in there or anything. And there's a new one installed also with a little bit of oil on it as well. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and put the cap back on the end of that. Just want to make it hand tight and just a little bit past that. Clean the housing on the engine side of the canister so that you can go ahead and reinstall the filter itself. It's going to feel like it's almost done, but just keep going until it stops. Because if you don't, obviously you'll have a leak, but you'll feel it as you're turning it. It'll have quite a bit of resistance. You want to keep going until it completely stops, and it should just stop and not be a problem. Here's page 469. Tells you need 4.7 quarts of oil for your 2.5 liter inline 4. And we're going to go ahead and put the Mobile 1 in. It's 020. You only want to put 020 in these engines. Synthetic or synthetic blend. We'll go ahead and put the cap back on there. Okay, there it is. It's on. Go ahead and start the car. Wait about 30 seconds and the car should warm up a little bit. Now you're going to hear the car make a little bit of noise at the beginning because it's charging the oil back through the system. And then you can go ahead and look under the car, make sure there's no leaks. To verify there's no leaks, go ahead and take it off the ramps. And once the car is off the ramps, you can wipe the oil off the dipstick, reinsert it again, and when you pull it back out, you should get your reading. As you can see right there, we're just about at the line, and that should be good.
Okay, the next step is going to be to reset the maintenance light. It's pretty easy. So you're first going to take the key and put the ignition. You're going to turn it into the on mode without turning the actual car on. What you're going to do is verify that your odometer is switched over to trip A. Once you've verified that, you go ahead and turn the key off. You want to go ahead and hold the button down right here. At the same time, turn the key back to start, and you'll see it reset. And it should flash all the way back to none, and then 0. That means it's reset. So it's easy as that. All done. You go back to your odometer the way you had it. I reset it on accident, but you didn't need to do that. Just as soon as you turn the key off, just hold it there and then switch it on. But it has to be on trip A in order to do it. So that's it. It's reset, and it'll come back on 5,000 miles.